Hello and welcome back to Rev Lexus, and today you join me with the 2022 Lexus UX 300e. This is the electric version of the infamous Lexus UX, which is a small crossover. UX stands for urban crossover, and the 300e just basically means it's the electric version. It's got about 201 horsepower, 0 to 60 in a claimed 7.5 seconds. It uses a 54 kilowatt battery, single motor, front wheel drive. That's the kind of technical jargon out the way. If you go into that, you really want to know what the car's like in real life, because numbers are just numbers, and putting the foot down, 0 to 30 this car is quite impressive. That instant punch from the motors, and you get that in all the electric vehicles, but it never gets old, and it's really ideal for around town. I like the compact dimensions of this car. It's not too large, and it is actually the Lexus' smallest model, but for UK roads and parking in town, I think this is going to be one of the kind of sellers of it. It's not a very large vehicle like something that's called the ENIAC or a Tesla Model Y or something like that. Inside the cabin, it's typical Lexus affair, all well built. It's not the most premium materials maybe in the door cards, especially the rear door cards, it seems to have cheaped out there. In this particular car, if you're interested, is over £52,000 for the Takumi spec, and that gives you basically everything. I will get onto spec in a minute, but ergonomically this car, pretty easy to work out where things are. You just get in and you can go. No big huge touchscreen to find interface. If you want heated and cooled seats on, heated steering wheel, it's all a button down here. Climate control is a button there. Cruise control button on the steering wheel. Nothing's really hidden within any sub menus, so that's a positive. Some people like this touchscreen, like the simple modern minimalism of a Tesla. This car is the opposite of that. It's got a lot of buttons for everything. But this car's also kind of focused on being luxurious and comfortable and quiet. I will say, being electrified, it's kind of smoothed out all the imperfections maybe the UX had. It does feel like a more premium vehicle than the standard UX 250H, just because that punchiness from the motor, the silentness of the running gear, it's just very effortless and smooth, and I quite enjoy that. And you're getting in the package of a UX. It does rival cars that I can think of. It's going to be like the EQA, which is the GLA electric from Mercedes. We've got the XC40 Volvo Recharge, which is the electric version of the Volvo XC40, and that's probably the main two I can think of, because they're out and out electrics, not like the plug-in hybrid of the X2 from BMW. We'll get some other information facts out to you. The boot space in this is 367 litres, which is more than the 320 in the hybrid, so if you're looking for a little bit more boot room, going electric saves you that. This car, as I mentioned, is front wheel drive, so the four wheel drive UX 250H has even less space. I think it's about 300 litres, so that's a positive. As I mentioned, this is a Takumi spec over 52. The range starts over just about 42 for the standard UX, but for that you're going to get a standard small screen. You're going to lose out on these nice seats, no sunroof, things like that. The premium model is probably the one I would maybe go for if it was your own money. It's about £3,000 more than the standard one, but that adds things like heated and cool seats. We've got heated seats in the rear, and you still get the small screen. You only get the large screen sat nav in the Takumi, but the Takumi is about 10 grand more than the standard model, which I think is going to be a hard pill to swallow for some people. But if you're doing it on a PCP business lease, maybe that makes sense. Just waiting for the Fiesta to go by. And that old man just ran over. I like things like the clock. Heads-up display on the Takumi. Again, this comes with everything, so blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. The heads-up display I've used all day today. It's very clear, right in your field of vision, tells you your charge, tells you your lanes, tells you your speed. It's pretty decent. I also like things that you've got your wireless charging for your phone down here. Less so is the touchpad. This doesn't use the latest and greatest Lexus touchscreen, or even the facelifted ES touchscreen. This has got the remote touchpad, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially when you're driving and trying to find menus and click buttons. I haven't been a fan of it in the IS300, and not a fan of it here. So hopefully if they update it again, they'll get rid of that, or maybe when the new model will come out, like the Lexus RZ that will be out next year. Speaking of the RZ, I'm curious and excited for that, to get a test drive That's a ground up electric vehicle, but as you know, this has got internal combustion cousins in its lineup. I put the foot down, I just never get bored of that, just a little bit, whoop, and the noise it makes. You can turn that off actually, the noise. ASC it's called on the side, but I quite like that kind of futuristic noise it plays through the cabin. So in the rear, the back seats of the car quite tight. I'm 5'11", plenty of shoulder room up front, plenty of adjustment. The passenger and driver's seat are pretty comfortable. We've got electric lumbar support, we've got height and adjustment, we can slide it forward and back. But in the rear, because of the batteries in the kind of floor, it's raised up a bit, so there's no way to put your feet. My knees are right up against the back of the seat. You can't really get myself behind me. So that's why I think it's ideal for like a retired couple or a young family, that kind of thing. It's not going to be an Uber car or somebody who's going to be carrying passengers regularly. Probably 2 kids or young adults with the armrest would be comfortable. Don't know if it would fit feet, but there is child anchor points back there, so they do have families in mind. The sunroof, I'll mention, don't know, it come in my head there. Oh. It's manual. I thought that was weird. They have that in the ES as well. It's very 1980s, 1990s. I don't know why that's electric. I don't know if that's to save electric motors or make them more reliable. I'm not sure, but I'm not a huge fan of pulling that across on a car that's over £50,000 in 2022 as well. But that's just a little bit. But it does open and it does tilt as well. So there is that adjustment if you want, and it does do a little bit of a good job of making that light, tighter cabin a little bit more airy, especially because if this was all black and black like a German spec car typically, it made me feel a bit claustrophobic. I quite like the lighter interior and the lighter headlining. It is annoying though, we do have black A-pillars and the rest is kind of cream, whereas most cars that have that, I've seen it all being one colour. A little bit of a nitpick, I know. Before this video is getting any longer, I just want to summarise my time with the UX 300D. So if you are looking for it, a car, be prepared to expect about 165 miles of real world range. I think the claim's about 190 for the Takumi, 196 for lesser spec models. I found online it's about 8 hours to charge at home on the driver's side, sorry. And then in the passenger side where the rapid charge point is, and it's the same charger we've been using in this Leaf, which is the same type you get for Tesla, but they claim it's about 80% charged within 50 minutes, so it's not the end of the world there. As I said, it's got a smaller battery, smaller range, but that makes the car a bit lighter, and I think a lot of journalists, if you've watched reviews recently, aren't really keen for electric vehicles to be 2.5–3 tonnes. Now, this car's quite comfortably not that way, just around just under 2 tonnes, which means it's quite agile on the road as well. And if you expect, I keep rambling on, but the end of this video is going to be a ramble. The maintenance wise, Lexus do offer the 10-year relax service if you, or warranty sorry, if you service it with them, so look after things like your battery pack, just to warranty that up 10 years, 100,000 miles here in the UK. So that's a bit of peace of mind as well if you're looking to buy this car and own it outright. 10 years, and because it's an electric car, there's less to go wrong because there's less moving parts, just like a motor up front under the bonnet, with the battery pack under the floor, you've got your brakes and that to worry about, but apart from that, nothing really else to worry about. Yeah, I'm rambling on, but I'll say in conclusion, if you're looking for a small, premium, compact electric vehicle, and I think this is the pros of this video, this car, is if you're looking for something compact, the Lexus UX is one of the benefits of that. If you're looking for a premium compact vehicle, if you really want the Lexus badge as well, an electric one, this is the only one you can get at the moment. It's the only electric vehicle Lexus offer. If you are all about maximum range and maximum acceleration, Polestar dual motor, really impressed with that the other week. My money maybe go there if you're looking for a 4-door family car. I know people are going to go Tesla Model 3 as well, won't forget about that, but I've not test drove that yet. However, I am aware it's got a very minimalist interior with the big screen. Polestar's a bit more normal inside, and some people prefer that. But yes, as always, stay safe, Thanks very much for watching this video. If you are a Lexus fan, please subscribe to the channel below, check out my other videos, and I'll see you again.